A full house, the sun is shining, perfect conditions. It could be, it should be, one of the matches of the season. Well, can Hull KR back up their brilliant victory over Wigan against a Saints side who are bidding to go 2 points clear again at the top? Because a Rovers win, would you believe, and the top 6 in Super League would all be locked together on 14 points. It's been a terrific round, 10 already in Super League. Wigan back to winning ways after their disappointing defeat here to Hull KR last weekend. Salford just holding on against Huddersfield. Comfortable wins for both Leeds and Warrington. And then both these games this afternoon on Sky Sports Action. Leigh against Castleford, still to come. Well, the league table looks very, very interesting, doesn't it? St Helens still at the top. They will go 2 points clear with a win. But just look at that. A Hull KR victory, and it couldn't be closer. It wouldn't be closer. 6 teams, the top 6, all on 14 points. Well, as far as Hull Kingston Rovers are concerned, a big, big blow. You can see there in the centres at number 3, there's a debut for Jack Broadbent. He was 19th man, would you believe? The reason being that Oliver Gildart is out. He got injured in the warm-up and limped off the field just 3 minutes ago. Well, there's the warm-up. And then a crestfallen, there he is, Oliver Gildart shaking his head. It looks like he's hurt his knee, but that was 5 minutes ago. As far as Saints are concerned, Tommy Makinson is out, their winger laid low with chickenpox. Flyer T. Ritson starts for the first time this season, and Lewis Dodd returns after missing 2 games through injury. Dodd, of course, bound for the NRL and South Sydney next season. Well, it's hello to John Wells, who's with me on the gantry here at New Craven Park.
Yeah, good afternoon, Stuart. Yes, the game of the round for me, this one. Hull KR off the back of a statement win against the champions, and St Helens in a familiar position at the top end of the Super League table. 14 times St Helens have appeared in the grand final. Hull KR looking to address their particular statistic. They have yet to feature in one. In terms of ones to watch, well, there's plenty. But let's start with 2 veterans of Super League. Ryan Hall and Johnny Lomax have a combined 825 career appearances between them. Ryan Hall now just 2 tries from equaling Danny Maguire's all-time try-scoring record of 247. He'll surely surpass that in the coming weeks, if not today. Johnny Lomax, well, he's the master tactician and the man for the clutch moment in any game. Rewind just 1 week for the most recent evidence of that with that game-winning drop goal against Huddersfield.
Well, drama before the kickoff, and how big a blow is that going to be for Hull KR? Jack Broadbent literally told 5 minutes ago that he was making his debut. Signed on a season-long loan from Castleford with Corey Hall and Lewis Senior going in the other direction. But he was 19th man, and now he's starting in place of Gildart. Yeah,
I think it's a huge blow. Oliver Gildart was the top try scorer for the Robins, and forming a really good partnership on that left edge outside Mikey Lewis with Ryan Hall. So I think that shows Jack Broadbent. We know he's a talent, and there's a reason the Robins went for him and picked him up. But that's a very, very late change. I feel for Oliver. He missed 4 games, didn't he, before reappearing against Wigan last week. I think that's going to be a significant adjustment Hull KR have to make and get used to very early on.
Well, Broadbent will be a 9th debutant for Hull KR this year, thrown in at the deep end. Look out for Broadbent, number 36. The players are coming out. It's another full house. St Helens selling out their allocation. 2 key men, of course, Jack Welsby, Mikey Lewis, and Hull KR. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen the worst and the very best of the Robins, with that defeat in Perpignan against Catalan and then the victory against Wigan. Chris Kendall is our referee. Ben Thaler, if called on, will be the video referee. Too close to call. Saints have a decent record here. They've won 14 of their last 15 matches against Hull KR. The one defeat coming here in Super League last year. Lewis Dodd, the official announcement of his move to the NRL and South Sydney is coming later today.
Yeah, it's going to be a big change, I think, for St Helens in the coming months. But let's focus on today then. One of the more enterprising attacks in Hull KR against the best defence in Super League in St Helens. Cannot wait for this one.
Well, something has to give. Mikey Lewis will get us underway. Bright sunshine. Lomax will take it up and feed Matty Lees. But a big game for both. Would it be astonishing if the top six were all on 14 points after 10 rounds? It is the closest, most competitive that we've seen possibly ever in the Super League era.
And what an atmosphere as well. The home side in full voice, song ringing around the stadium, as they have been for an hour or so before kick-off. Craven Street, absolutely jam-packed. That stand away in front of us, jam-packed also. What an atmosphere.
Every game sold out. That's the great strides that they've made on and off the field in the last 2 or 3 years. A couple of tackles left in the set. Here is Sione Matautia. You feel that he'll be filling in a lot of prop over the next 2 or 3 months with the long-term injury to big Alex Walmsley. Ball goes back for Dodd. Under pressure, gets the kick away. Back to it was, putting the pressure on. It was taken by Niall Evalds. And a steady first set for the Saints.
Yeah, steady, efficient, exactly what you'd expect to see. I'm interested to see how the changes, the enforced changes by St Helens are going to work out. T. Ritson, of course, makes his first appearance of the season. The word coming from Swinton is that he's been absolutely killing it for the last couple of weeks whilst on loan, so he's making a long way to debut in place of Tommy Makinson.
Yeah, Ritson a flyer. Had to be really patient, now getting his opportunity. Midway inside their own half. Interested that Jez Litton again preferred to Matt Parcell as the starting hooker. On the last, just shy of halfway, and the ball will go back to Lewis. It's a good kick downfield. Just a little bit too much on it. Wellesby shadowing the ball behind, and Saints will get a 7-tackle set from their 20.
Yeah, just overcooked the kick a little. It was one area of the game that he's improved massively. We always knew he had a great short kicking game. He's found space early on, but 7 tackles given away. You do that at your peril against a side like St Helens, particularly plays 1 and 2.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see how Saints go with ball in hand. You mentioned the best defence in Super League by some way after 9 rounds, but with ball in hand, they haven't been the best, have they, this year?
No, yet to find it. Look, there's injuries played a part in that. They've been missing Lewis Dodd for a few weeks.
Inside the Rovers half, and by a dummy half, and here is Morgan Knowles. And they go to the right little cut inside. It was well read, wasn't it? Cracking tackle of Matty Lees. Dodd digs the little kick up. Well taken by Niall Evalds, who has found his best form again, hasn't he? Being switched to fullback. The experiment of playing Petter Hiku there hasn't worked. Hiku's been outstanding in the centre, and Evalds ditto at fullback.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big call from Willie Peters to make that change and move Niall Evalds to fullback. I'm sweet on Niall Evalds. I think he's rediscovered some of his best form. We said there were loads of players to watch, loads of matchups to watch. You know, that's just one of them. Evalds against the mercurial Jack Wellesby.
Yeah, first penalty. Saints not standing square. Market interference at the play of the ball. Take your pick.
Yeah, just great carry, just great positive carry, full of energy from the home side. And Saints just not able to get themselves into position. There's a shove in there as well. So an early opportunity for the Robins.
Well, they like to play, don't they? It's the Willie Peters style. And Paul Wellens We'll be hoping for an improved performance, certainly on attack. Defensively, conceded only 70 points in 9 games, which is an astonishing effort.
Yeah, and that's going to be the huge challenge for the Robins, isn't it? Those 70 points, just 12 tries conceded. This is a watertight defence. It's going to take some prizing open for the Robins, but they're good. They're this shape, they fall into so easily.
Big tackle. Well, it was high. It was too high by Waqa Blake. It's another penalty for Hull KR on Peta Hiku.
Yeah, hang it. All right, with the penalty.
Yeah, there wasn't much in it, was there? But it's up and around the head area. Kendall having nothing of it.
Next line, boys.
Interesting, they've not actually gone for distance there. They've gone for position. So, you know, have a look at these first couple of plays from Hull KR. They're setting up for shape here.
Jesse Sue, what a good player he's been. Had a cracking season, then he missed the 1 game. That was in Perpignan, and they lost to Catalan. That was through suspension. So first chance with the ball in hand for KR. Minchella, Emils again, and Hiku eventually brought down, first by Percival and then by Lewis Dodd. Minchella now, they have got room out on the far side, but Lewis has to come inside. Always dangerous with ball in hand. Mikey Lewis does well. So they're queuing up now, and it's a interference by Moses and by Eves. They've had penalty, set restart. Can they do something with it? And by bringing down Jez Litton right in front of the post, the pressure building. Minchella again. Well, I'm not sure that was the best offload.
Yeah, it's just an overplay, isn't it, from Tyrone May. He's tried to flick a cute ball out the back to James Batchelor, and it's just not come off and let off the hook there.
That was a real chance, John, for Rovers.
Yeah, their tackles up the sleeve as well. Yeah, Willie Peters would be pretty frustrated about that, because I think they've been, you know, it's an area that they've really been focusing on. Yes, it all starts with defence for Willie Peters, but just being a bit more ruthless in attack.
Cagey start from both. 7 minutes gone. Last tackle. It'll find Lewis Dodd. But charge down. It's a charge down. The Saints are making some errors here.
Well, I'll tell you
2 penalties given away, then a set restart, then a poor kick from Lewis Dodd. And opportunities as Broadbent on debut brought down.
That's a brilliant effort-based play, though, from Jai Whitbread to force Lewis Dodd into what is a mistake there.
Minchella. Here is Jai Whitbread. Played at Lee, played at Wakefield, found a good home here at Hull KR. The pressure, all the pressure coming from the home side. Minchella again, and Lewis, and brought back for Hall. Good tackle from Ritson on his opposite number, but Lewis now with a little kick over the top. And Tyrone May gets there first. Tyrone May with a brilliant dive has got the first try for Hull KR. Beautifully done. A little dig kick from Mikey Lewis, and it was read perfectly by his half-back partner. And Tyrone May open to scoring. It's 4-0.
Oh, what a finish. And I'll tell you what, Tyrone May's called that. Mikey Lewis coming back across the field, and Tyrone May's called it. The arm has gone in the air. Yes, Mikey Lewis was looking for an out. Take you back to the kick charge down from Jai Whitbread. And then into the try play. Broadbent across the field, and at that point, Tyrone May had already called for the kick. Lewis was looking for it, but he found a perfect outlet, didn't he, in his half-back partner. What a pickup he's been from the Catalan Dragons. And it's nothing less than they deserve, Stuart. I think they started the game incredibly well.
Well, they started the game on the front foot, but Saints have been the masters of their own destiny as well. With penalties given away, set restart given away, and then the Lewis Dodd kick charge down. But Jai Whitbread deserves a lot of credit, because it was what Whitbread did, which led to the try.
Yeah, he's one of a number of players, isn't he, for FC that base their game around effort and energy. You know, you'd say Dean Hadley's in that bracket, James Batchelor, and Jai Whitbread's another, one of 2 pickups from Wakefield in the close season, and he's having a brilliant first year as a Robin.
Well, Saints not in it in the opening 10 minutes. KR had to make their pressure tell. They have. Mikey Lewis made the try. Tyrone May scored the try. And Mikey Lewis adds the extras. And Hull KR leads 6-0.
Yeah, just when Jack Broadbent comes in field, you'll see bottom of your screen, Tyrone May's calling for this. He's calling for the kick. And Mikey Lewis is good enough to put it on an absolute platter for him. Really well executed play. I love those. I love when played for and got, Stuart. Great start, home side.
Yeah, Willie Peters, the perfect start. Yeah, I remember saying, commentating on their defeat against Catalan, that the next month is going to define their season. Catalan away, Wigan at home, Saints at home, mistake by Ryan Hall, and it'll be a goal line dropout, so Saints will get the ball back. So Wigan at home, Saints at home, Challenge Cup semi-final.
I think they've got more immediate concerns, though, haven't they? Because, you know, they always talk about Howard side works in their set after points. Well, that's not a very good result for them, is it? St Helens, with a cute kick from the tee, are going to force Hull KR into a defensive set here.
Lost it in the sun. So that's the first real opportunity then for Saints, with ball in hand, to attack inside the Hull KR half, coming off the back of going 6-0 down. Saints travelled up on Friday to prepare. Now Welsby through as Welsby got the pace of Evans. Fantastic tackle by Niall Evans, but Welsby looked as if he was through. Lomax now. That's a try saver from Evans, from one of the great try scorers in Jack Welsby. Leads now for Saints. 2 tackles left in the set. How important will that try saver be? Ball comes with Lewis Don and Lomax, and Welsby again skips round one. Goes for the line, and Welsby between 2 tackles. No mistake this time. Terrific try with Jesse Sue and Tyrone May, who missed Jack Welsby. First attack, first try. Saints are back in it.
Oh, fancy that. 2 clean line breaks in one set of 6. Nowhere near as effective in the halves where he's had to play in the absence of Lewis Dodd. You put him back in this position and boy, I tell you, he tears defences to pieces. We talked about the matchups all over the field, fullback on fullback. Well, that was a great try-saving effort, but it only delayed the inevitable. Broadbent out the line, and then Welsby skipped through a couple of tackles to open the scoring for Saints. And there's a shot across the bows there for the home side. They've had a brilliant start to the game. It's a wonderful atmosphere, but they have invited St Helens back into this game, and they have taken full advantage.
Well, you and I were saying before the game, could be one of the games of the season. Should be the game of the round. And with 12 minutes gone, it's already proving to be just that. But Saints hitting back. It was the mistakes from St Helens which ultimately led to Hull KR pressure and the try for Tyrone May. The mistake from the kickoff from Ryan Hall, and Saints strike.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Saints have been in those positions for a number of years, and this is a side that is battle hardened and understands the value of possession and territory. Hull Kingston Rovers are on a journey. We know they are, and they're on a real upward trajectory on and off the field. You know, these are the harsh lessons that they're going to have to learn. You give a team like St Helens an opportunity, they will take it.
The Mark Percival to level it all up. Only 1,000 Saints fans behind those posts. The flags are up. It's 6 apiece. 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, and Paul Wellens will be really, really happy with that, because they haven't, and Willie Peters in contrast would be furious, because St Helens haven't really had to work for it. They've probably had 30 seconds in this area of the field, and they're that good. And this kid is that impressive that they've been able to take advantage and level the scores up.
So 6-all, we're battle level. And Matty Lees again, first to the ball, driving it up.
Hold here, go on.
There's a lot of work, Matty Lees, week in, week out. He's one of the top tacklers as well for the Saints.
Square up. Wait, go to.
Knowles and Sione Matautia running into Tyrone May. It was May and Jesse Sue who got caught in a Welsby sandwich, but they couldn't catch him. Saints already over halfway. Great run again from Morgan Knowles, such power. And by it, dummy half. Now Welsby. This time, no mistake from Tyrone May. Last one, goes back to Dodd, gets the kick away again under pressure from Batchelor. Taken by Evans, and it's as good as we hope, one end of the field to the other.
Yeah, compare and contrast though, set after points for Hull KR, they score and then make an error off the kick-off. And that's the champion team that's gone 90 metres after scoring their try.
Litton went on his own, brought down midway inside his own half of the field, approaching 15 minutes, 6 apiece. Saints have lost twice this season.
Good carry, Jack Broadbent.
It was against Salford and Catalan. Well, that was a big hit.
Time off.
Now, what's the verdict?
Time's off. Time is off.
Well, was it Hurrell? Was it Lees? Let's have a look.
It was Morgan Knowles, I think, who came in late over the top.
Well, let's see. I think Ben Thaler, the video referee, is going to be talking to Chris Kendall. And then we're going to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Lees who made the tackle. Then it was Morgan Knowles who came in on Jai Whitbread.
Yes, it was. Look, the conversation is between video referee and Chris Kendall, and I think there's going to be a card produced here. There's a significant amount of force. There's some mitigation there.
Right, there is mitigation because there is a drop in height, but it's still 10 minutes in the bin. It's still forced in. Contact with the head.
Well, there it is, confirmation. Because there was mitigation and because Jai Whitbread was going down, it's a yellow card rather than a red card, because we've seen red cards for incidences like that this season.
Yeah, we have.
Okay,
yeah.
when you're ready, Mikey.
It's Whitbread and with another uncompromising run. Third man in. Yeah, it's just as Whitbread has dipped, the contact has gone high.
On the mark.
So the Robins
Okay,
back in
Peter.
great field position.
Go.
What can they do in this set of possession?
Chris Kendall, the referee, has been kept busy, hasn't he? Oh, brilliant there from
Move, Conrad!
Evans.
Wait. Go
Saints
on.
down to 12 for the next 10 minutes. Here is Minchella. Jesse Sue,
Movement,
20 yards away from the St Helens line. Right in the middle. They go to the left with Litton, and Lewis again drops the ball off, and Broadbent for Hall, who does well. That was a fantastic tackle by young T. Ritson. Not only did he bring Hall down, he forced the error, and Ritson to the rescue.
Yeah, he needed to be on the money as well there. With that, there's another involvement as well. Back on the inside from Johnny Lomax, just to make sure that wasn't collected and the set couldn't continue. But it's a great defensive read, real patience by T. Ritson. You know, he strikes fear into the hearts of a lot of wingers, does Ryan Hall, and has done for his long and illustrious career. And that was denying Ryan Hall try number 246, which would have taken him to within just one of Danny Maguire's record.
Inching ever closer, isn't he?
Yeah, Danny Maguire death riding him. Desperate for T. Ritson to make that tackle.
Yeah, superb from Ritson. He's had to be patient. Not been able to get into the team because of Bennison and Makinson and Blake. But Tommy Makinson with chicken pox has given him his opportunity. And defensively so far, he's taken it. Shake of the head from Paul Wellens.
4,
Saints down to 12, and Conrad Hurrell limping a little bit in the background as well. Dodd offloads the ball for Whitley. 17 minutes gone, 6 apiece. Last tackle. Dodd looks for some space. That's a decent kick there. It's picked up by Evans, just a couple of yards away from his own try. Now, that was better from Dodd, but they'll run it with Hall. 6 apiece.
Yeah, a good long raking kick from Lewis Dodd. He's finding a lot of grass, isn't he? He's making Niall Evalds move around a little bit. We saw Paul Wellens there shaking his head. I don't think he's shaking his head for 1 minute at the try-saving effort from T. Ritson, but maybe just how easily Hull KR got to that edge and exposed those 3 quarters.
Well, Saints have already given 3 penalties away in the first, 16, 17 minutes of the game. And it hurt them. It'll keep hurting them with field position. Now there's the offload for Mincello. He's got support either way. Which way is he going to go? He goes for Mikey Lewis, and Lewis scores. And that is what Hull KR can do from deep. 1 break, 1 missed tackle. Mincello with the break. Lewis with the try. We're just going to double check that it was all okay. And he got the ball down before the dead ball line. I think he did. Ben Thaler will have a look.
Call so with the live call we have as a try. I'm just going through to the grounding now to make sure that it is grounded and he stays in the field of play. Clearly he's got possession of the ball, and we're going nice and slow on this. His feet are in the field of play now. They're still in the field of play, still in. Yeah, clearly still in the field of play, and just going down to grounding there. The ball is down, and he is in the field of play. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
Well, it was a Kendall just, I think, maybe saw an elbow or something that moved over the dead ball line. You know, Mikey's too good a player, I think, to make that sort of elementary mistake. But just how easily
Saints were cut apart.
That's really interested to watch this one back, because that was looked very easy, very straightforward. Now, yeah, let's reference the man in the sin bin. So they are thin on that edge. But it's just an overread, isn't it, from Percival, that opened up the space either side of Sione Matautia, and then Mincello into the backfield, and he had an option either side of him. Batcher on the right, Lewis on the inside. Shrugged off the tackle of Lewis Dodd. And he's been a brilliant player. The new captain for Hull Kingston Rovers, Elliot Mincello, took over from Sean Kenny-Dowell at the back end of last season, cleaned up at the annual awards at the end of 2023. And he's giving you a very good show of exactly why.
Well, they picked out Lewis Dodd, didn't they? It's a weak link in the defence, and he was there. And coming up to the midway point of the first half, cracking first 20 minutes, Hull KR leading 12-6.
Yeah, look, there's a man less on the field, so the spaces are just that little bit wider. You can get one-on-one a little bit easier. A power shrug, and then Elliot Mincello just managed to draw Jack Welsby and release Mikey Lewis on the inside. You can see why they referenced that, because he was close to the dead ball line, but nah, he's too cute, is Lewis.
He was very close. You can see why Chris Kendall decided to double check there. He was centimetre inside. But it is a try. It's 12-6. And on merit, KR lead.
No, absolutely on merit. You know, and St Helens are down to 12 men for good reason as well. Morgan Knowles has let his side down there, but as we say, that commentator's curse, it looks like there's been an error at the play the ball. And Saints, again,
it bobbles on the ground.
Willie Peters will be furious about this. Saints not having to work for prime territory on this field. They're going to have a full set of 6 inside the opposition 20.
Well, Ryan Hall made an error from the kickoff after the first try when the ball went behind him and went dead. He just made another error there at the play the ball, knocking on at the play the ball. And Saints have been gifted an opportunity here. Percival Down to 12, but an opportunity to level it up once more. And by here is Sione Matautia. Will tackle from Whitbread and Minchella. Litton's in there as well. It's a set restart. 6 more for Saints. Lomax, Welsby, Ritson. Ritson kept inside. Ritson just shy of the try line. He was nearly there, young T. Ritson. Hurrell and By will take the tackle. Saints pressurising. They scored after they went 6-0 down. Can they score after going 12-6 down? Lewis Dodd. Nowhere to go. Still 3 tackles. Still plenty of time. Welsby again. Lomax now. Lomax for Blake. Blake will cut inside. Wanga Blake gets a St Helens try. And all of a sudden, they're back in it. And 12 points to 10. I think we're just going to check. But he managed to stay in the field of play. But from our vantage point here on the gantry, no doubt at all that Blake has got a try for St Helens. Ben Thaler, though, will take a look.
Thank you. We have a live call on field of a try. We're just going nice and slow on this to make sure he stays in the field of play. You can see the left leg there remains in the field of play, still in. It stays in. It stays in. He's got possession of the ball in his right hand, and we just go back on that nice and slow. Thank you.
Yeah,
I've now made my decision.
White lines are getting a lot of scrutiny, aren't they, this afternoon? Wanga Blake is just too big and too strong and evades the tackle. The despairing last-ditch tackle attempt from Peta Hiku. And he'll reduce the arrears to 2 points.
Well, it's Ryan Hall who's made 2 errors, and off the back of them, Saints have got back in the game with 2 tries.
It's tiny stuff as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's lost the kick-off, first one in the sun. Second, sticky stuff on the hands has led to the error. What about that for a ball from Johnny Lomax? That was fair pass. Take a look at that. Sums up the defence in half a second. Sees the Robins edge defender wedging in on his opposite centre. Wanga Blake free on the outside. 2 points the difference. And Paul Wellens will be happy. Willie Peters will be absolutely furious because they've done so much right, so many things right, and they have not met. They have allowed St Helens, without having to work for it, without having to put any effort into it, without having to create anything, 2 golden opportunities. You just can't do that against a side of this quality.
Well, we've promised you a good game. It's turning out to be a great game. Off the touchline. Can Mark Percival level it once more for St Helens? That one just pushing across the face of the post and goes wide. So Hull KR keep the lead at 12-10. But this looks like being just a brilliant game. It is already.
Yeah, Wanga Blake with a try. Johnny Lomax with a try assist, his 10th of the Super League season. The start of round 9, that was tied 3rd in Super League. The best in a St Helens shirt. And it's what he's done so well. He said before the game, he's the man for the clutch moment. Whether that's out of hand or off his boot. And he's proved once again just how valuable he is to a St Helens, to the St Helens club.
So 12-10, 4 tries in the opening 22 minutes. Kalepi Tanganoa is on for Hull KR. He's been a good player for a long time, and he's shining bright, isn't he, since moving from Wakefield to the Robins. Matautia. With them by, and here is young George Delaney.
Yeah, I really like Dave. Brings a lot. He brings, talk about energy-based players, effort-based players. Blimey, doesn't he raise the tempo when he comes on?
Welsby, wrapped up by Tyrone May and Jez Litton. Back it goes to Lewis Dodd. This time the kick is along the floor. Taken well. Good full-back positioning by Niall Adels. We've got 15 minutes to half-time. Hull KR leading 12-10.
Yeah, absorbing contest, isn't it? And St Helens just, tactical awareness there from Lewis Dodd, rolling it into a corner. making Hull KR burn a couple of tackles, getting back into position midfield.
Ryan Hall. He'll want to put right those mistakes, get on the scoreboard, I'm sure. But here is Tanganoa down the left-hand side. They break from anywhere, but it was a forward pass inside from Kelepi Tanganoa. What an opportunity. Tanganoa against Wigan went the distance for a special try, but the pass went awry and Saints survive.
Oh, I think that East Stand had deja vu, didn't they, seeing Kelepi Tanganoa? Don't pass, man, just take the tackle. It was a great piece of work in the build-up from Jack Broadbent to outstrip Hull, it was, I think, in the opposite centre. And during that piece of play, in Morgan Knowles, shots of Morgan Knowles rejoining the field, so St Helens back to their full complement of 13. Take a look at the break. Broadbent, what a brilliant piece of footwork. It's Delaney who does it. Delaney found himself out in the centres.
Well, Saints have conceded 2 tries. They may well have conceded another couple. They've got away with it twice as well, and they're still in it. 14 minutes to half-time, they're banging it, just 2 points behind. Here is Delaney once more, the young man, 20 years of age.
Hold here, go to Gretchen.
And by.
Play on.
Tackle. Batchelor.
6 again, Kelepi Tanganoa.
Well, Tanganoa was in late. So Saints get another set.
Move! Hold here.
This is where they're dangerous, John.
Well, set restarts have been killing them. Lomax back up the middle. Here's Delaney. And they're starting to win the ruck now. This is getting quick.
They're trying to move the ball a lot quicker. Dodd and space here for Percival. Percival will cut inside. Percival still going. Manages to offload back to Matautia. Saints looking dangerous once again. And by Lomax. Wellesby into Batchelor. It was a fingertip tackle, I think, by Lewis, wasn't it, that kept Batchelor out. But can they keep Hurrell out? No, they can't. And Conrad Hurrell bangs the ball down for a try, which would give St Helens the lead.
Just check he maintains possession all the way to the ground.
I clearly saw the ball on the ground there, so it'll just be whether there's a knock-on before he manages to ground it, Conrad Hurrell.
Let's just have a look. Our Saints in front, Ben Saylor.
Okay, thank you. We have a live call on field of a try. You can clearly see he's got the ball in his hands. He's still got the ball. He's still got the ball. And it's still got the ball. Pause it there. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
Yeah, I think the reference up there was just in the process of catching the ball. And Conrad Hurrell knocked the ball on as it touched the Hull KR player. Ben Thaler says no.
And there we have it. So all of a sudden, Saints have turned this game round with 2 tries in the space of 5 minutes. And St Helens hit the front at 14-12. Well, it's fantastic fare in the sunshine in East Hull.
Yeah, you look at the build-up play, and it all got too quick around the ruck, didn't it? And Batchelor left on the floor. They played left. This was a couple of plays before, and you could see the Hull KR getting pulled out all kinds of shape. Offloads, missed tackles, scramble defence, and then we forward to the try play. Batchelor just pulled down, and then it's a simple read from Wellesby and finds Conrad Hurrell as the extra man, and he's a big unit to stop from a couple of yards out, isn't he? Just got very quick, very quickly for Hull KR. You lose the ruck against St Helens, they play over the advantage line, and they have the skill there to unopen most teams.
There's perfect proof of it, and it all came from an error, didn't it, with the set restart when Kelepi Tanganoa was penalised. Brilliant game, Saints lead 14-12. Don't forget, still to come on Sky Sports Action. Leigh against Castleford, 5:30 kickoff. Personal, 10 yards in from touch. Can he extend the lead? Well, I think the cheers from behind him will tell you the answer is no. So St Helens do lead, but only by 2 at 14 points to 12.
Yeah, we're just approaching the half-hour mark. It'd be interesting how those two missed conversions are going to make any difference come the final whistle. You get another couple of looks at this try, and it's just a brilliant piece of summing up from Jack Welsby, who just goes and finds his biggest destructive runner and goes, here you go, help yourself.
Let's go.
Your ability, you talk about time in rugby league games. Having time in attack is your best friend. Not having time in defence is your worst enemy. And that was you could see that visually there for Hull Kingston Rovers. No time to communicate, no time to adjust, everything off the back foot. And the result was 4 points.
Well, Conrad Hurrell out of contract at the end of the year for what he brings to St Helens. Do you keep him for another year?
I would. He's still doing it, isn't he? People have been, questioning his defence, his mobility in defence for a while, but he's a very, very destructive runner.
Welsby gets the pass out, picked up by Percival. Percival eventually brought down on halfway. Elusive runner, last tackle. And Bai will look for Lewis Dodd, again under pressure from Batchelor. That's a good kick.
Good take. Brilliant take, Joe Burgess, because it was a miscued kick. Really short bomb from Lewis Dodd. Welsby had applied a little bit of pressure, but Joe Burgess had to come 20 metres there and launch himself into the air. Offload here, Litton's on the run now.
Hall, always powerful, up to halfway. What a game. 5 tries already. We're going to have quite a few more, I would think. Chance then for Hull KR to get back in front, trailing for the first time at 14-12. Here is Whitbread. Saints cover defending was good on that occasion. Minchella. Hadley on the last. Litton now for Mikey Lewis, and that's a really good kick. T. Ritson does exceptionally well under pressure. Batchelor and Lewis having a bit of a grapple in backfield there. Play on, says the referee. Get on with it.
It was a great set, wasn't it? A great take from T. Ritson under pressure. It was a great set in possession from Hull KR, but you could see with the last 2 tackles of the set, St Helens rescued it. They pulled the momentum back, they slowed it down, and crucially, they gave themselves time.
Darrell Clark is on the field. Dave Bell is on for Batchelor. Dodd puts the kick forward, not very effective kick, picked up by Evans for Hull KR. The first half has flown, 8 minutes to half time. St Helens leading 14-12.
Yeah, back end of the sets are far superior from St Helens and Lewis Dodd, who's got that ball on a string, and he's putting Niall Evans in a corner, and they've got a great kick chaser can rely on. Dodd knows that he's got willing runners to follow up any kick, but then they compound what was a great end to a set by just doing too much in the ruck.
And do you know what? Chris Kendall made a good call there. You could hear it on his microphone. He shouted hell very loudly, and then Delaney shoved him out the way. Can't do that. Penalty. 14-12. Hull KR with ball in hand. James Batchelor, of course, up against his brother Joe Batchelor. The brothers have played each other 5 times in the past. St. Joe has won on all 5 occasions. Brilliant flat pass. Chance now for Tangamoa. Tangamoa, has he got the ball away? He has for Broadbent, who will score on debut. Fantastic handling from Hull KR. Kalepi Tangamoa bursting through the gap. And Jack Broadbent, playing with 5 minutes notice, scores on his debut, and Hull KR are back in front.
Oh, wow, what a try. What a brilliant set-up try. Loads of options, loads of players in motion. Lewis hits Tangamoa short. He streaks into the backfield. It's a brilliant lead line, so honest from Tangamoa. And then what about that? Called in, as you said, Stuart, last minute debut, not onto the bench, straight into the fray. Take a look at this. Brilliant set-up play. And it's Lewis with a lovely subtle ball to Tanganoa into the backfield. He holds off the challenge of Welsby for long enough. And then Broadbent crosses for a try he'll remember for a long, long time. That was really, really good to watch. 2 wide balls set it up. Some great ball handling. The subtlety of the pass from Lewis to Tanganoa. And Tanganoa, I think, racking the meters up again already in this first half. What a weapon he is on that left edge. And Jack Broadbent, loan signing from the Castleford Tigers. Hull KR saw the talent, saw the potential, saw the opportunity to bring him in. And we said at the start of the piece that Gildart would be sorely missed. Well, Broadbent's plugging that hole pretty effectively at the moment.
I've always said, you know, John, Kalepi Tanganoa was a stellar player in, no disrespect to Wakefield, a poor Wakefield team.
People have been trying to prize him out of Wakefield for 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah. And he'd stayed loyal, hadn't he? And he you know, committed himself to Wakefield. The minute they went down, there's always asset stripping that goes on, and the good players get picked up. And I think it was a brilliant piece of close season recruitment to bring the pair of them, Jai Whitbread and Kalepi Tanganoa, over from Wakefield to Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yeah. One of my favourite Super League players, Tanganoa. I think he's an absolute star. In the last 2 weeks, he's proved it. He has the pace of a winger as well, which helps.
He's certainly got some toe, hasn't he? And that East Stand, they get treated to that. What's it, 3rd time now in 2 weeks? Twice today, an 80-metre effort last week. Right, Mikey, what have you got off the tee?
16-14. Mikey Lewis. I don't think that one is anywhere near. So Hull KR were trailing by 2. Now they're leading by 2. 6 tries in a sensational first half.
Well, it's the try of the half so far. It's 2 brilliant wide passes just to sit that set-up play, that shape that Hull Kingston Rovers fall into so easily on the 3 quarters. There's a difference in mindset between when you get to the edge of those the middle and edge forwards, your back row, and then your halves and your centres. You've got a potential weak point there. You've got different mentalities, and when you've got shape and numbers and options around you, and the player of the skill of Mikey Lewis and the line running ability of Kalepi Tanganoa, that was brilliant to watch.
Well, let's all just take a breath, even for 10 seconds. 5 minutes to half time. Pulsating stuff. 16 points to 14.
Yeah, the ball's been playing in play a lot, hasn't it? Not many breaks in play for these guys. Been played at high intensity. It's warm down there at pitch level.
Luckily. He's found a home, hasn't he? The Geordie here at Hull KR. Sam Luckley, highly thought of. Key moments these. 4 minutes to go to half time. Hadley brought down. Last tackle for Rovers. Inevitably, it'll go back to Lewis. Drills the kick downfield, but straight at Jack Welsby, who has an opportunity here for T. Ritson to perhaps get something going. Ritson has been outstanding, but in defence for Saints, hardly have a sniff at the ball. Here is Conrad Hurrell, one of St Helens' 3 try scorers. May, Lewis, Broadbent for KR, Welsby, Blake, Hurrell for Saints. Here is Blake. Can Saints hit the front again just before half-time? Just shy of halfway. Here is James Bell. 2 tackles left here. Darryl Clark at dummy half. And Welsby will have to keep hold of the ball. Play on. Going across the line. Still going across the line. Inside it goes for Sione Matautia. Last one. Again, it'll go to Dodd, who'll, under pressure from Batchelor, puts up a high one. And the ball comes off Evans. And is that a first knock on by Evans or by Lomax?
Back to 1. There's a knock on by St Helens.
Right, it's going to be Hull KR possession, is this? So they're saying it's a tap back first. I'm not sure that's the correct decision.
No, I think it came off Evans, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certainly an arm in there, isn't there, from James Bell?
Yeah, Rovers may have got away with one then, but that's a big call at a big moment. 2 minutes to half-time. That would have been great field position for St Helens.
I'll tell you what, I love how patient Saints are being. They've seen a lead here, seesaw, and they know the quality of opposition that they're facing. And just the ends of sets are just monotonous, aren't they? Keep putting Hull KR in the same position in the field, keep applying pressure.
You're moving forward, Ryan. Step back, Mark is getting tight.
Back to the mark, play the ball, get on with it. 16 points to 14, 90 seconds to go. Fabulous first 40 minutes, the very best that Super League has to offer on view this afternoon. Will Saints get their hands on the ball again before half-time? But here come KR with Lewis, and is the room out wide. Evans brought down. 2 tackles left here for the home side. Been a lot of noise, great atmosphere, but just hush around the stadium in the final seconds of the half. Lewis with a big kick downfield. Saints will have one set to go 75 yards. What can T. Ritson do here? Ritson trying to go through a gap.
Important
well
tackle
read by Petr Hiku.
Yeah,
had to be as well.
It's important tackle from Petr Hiku, because we're into the last minute of the half. You know, would completely any break into the backfield, and Saints, you know what they can do off the back of that.
Bell. Good tackle. Brilliant from. Luckily, Lomax now and Hurrell. Hurrell for Ritson now. Ritson, has he got space down that far side? Quick cover comes across. Last 30 seconds of the half. Bell once more, and Dodd, and Welsby on the bounce, picked up by Blake. Offload back to Lewis Dodd. Now it's Bell inside for Delaney. Saints will get one last tackle away, will they? No, they won't. So there we have it. Litton managed to keep Delaney down. The end of a fantastic first half. Hull Kingston Rovers leading by 16 points to 14. And, well, breathtaking and breathless.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the respective dressing rooms, because I think both sides, you know, show moments of brilliance, but there's clearly plenty to work on for both teams as well.
So half-time here. We'll have analysis from John coming up. Brilliant first 40 minutes. Hull KR leading Saints 16-14.
Welcome to a new season, folks. The home of rugby league is right here.
Yeah, buckle up. Look at the emotion.
An absolute flying machine.
Nice work there on duty.
That is an extraordinary moment.
Did miraculously well to get it through.
He jumped like a rainbow and came up with a pot of gold.
Yeah, the NRL continues on Sky Sports on Sunday morning. Cronulla against St George Illawarra. Back here on Sky Sports Action. Kick-off just after 7 a.m. What a first half we've had here at New Craven Park. Hull KR leading by 16 points to 14. We've had 6 tries, some rich entertainment, and the goal kicking, the difference. Percival has missed 2, Lewis has kicked 2.
Now, it was a brilliant start to the game as well, full of energy, full of effort, and it was an effort-based play that actually set the Robins up for their first try, and it came in the form of Jai Whitbread, who just applied too much pressure to Lewis Dodd. That set up position for Hull KR's opening gambit, and it was a brilliant play called by Tyrone May and executed off the boot of Mikey Lewis. It had to be inch perfect as well because there were covering defenders coming across from St Helens. 6 points to 0. Responded in kind by St Helens. A couple of minutes later, Jack Welsby, after clean breaking 2 plays previously, skipped through a couple of tackles on 11 minutes to level the scores up. That was converted by Percival. But this man in space is very, very difficult. Really strong. Great fend, knows where the line is. 6 points apiece. 18 minutes. Well, Hull KR strike from deep. Percival out the line. Dodd misses a one-on-one. They've got a man in the bin at the moment of St Helens. Morgan Knowles is sat cooling his heels. And the Robins took full advantage, didn't they? Mikey Lewis, one of 3 supporting players on the inside of Elliot Minchella to restore that lead. 12 points to 6. Then, in the second quarter, just after 20 minutes, Saints struck back. And it was a beautiful piece of summing up from Johnny Lomax. Just saw Burgess hesitate a little and open up an inch or 2 on the outside, and Lomax in half a second summed that up, executed a brilliant cut-out ball, and Wanger Blake just too strong, scored in the corner. 12 points to 10. And then St Helens took the lead for the first time in the game on 27 minutes. It came in the form of Conrad Hurrell, but it was for the first time you started seeing cracks appearing in the Hull KR defence. Welsby drops short side, sums up the numbers, 3v2, gives it to the big man. Barge over try for Conrad Hurrell, not converted by Percival, and so a 2-point lead. But the final score of the half was arguably the best score of the half, and it came from the home side. 2 brilliant cut-out balls got Hull Kingston Rovers playing on an edge, playing against 3 quarters, through the attempted tackle of Lomax, Tanganoa into the backfield, and then Jack Broadbent stepping up on debut to replace the injured Oliver Gildart, who pulled out during warm-up, scores on his debut and restores the narrowest of leads, the narrowest of margins, in what has been an utterly enthralling first 40 minutes.
Well, Saints having more possession, and look at that, completed sets, 15 out of 15, but they conceded 4 penalties and they proved costly.
Yeah, for me, you're looking at that, it's the penalties conceded by St Helens, which would be annoying for Paul Wellens, and the errors made by Hull Kingston Rovers that Willie Peters will really want to impress upon his side. They cannot afford to do that against a side of this quality. We're finally poised for a brilliant second 40 minutes, and you cannot wait for this, see how this one plays out.
So there we go. If the second half is half as good, we're still in for a treat. Don't go anywhere. Hull KR leading St Helens 16-14.
It is Rugby League Reloaded for 2024. Big hit goes in there. This is getting fiery now. Making it all look magic. This is more than just a game. He's prolific this year. Oh, what a challenge that was. Sensational try. They go for glory and they win the game. It has been marvellous and memorable.
Yeah, every game live on Sky Sports. And next week, round 11. We start on Thursday. Hull KR away at Warrington. 7:30, Sky Sports action. And on the Friday, 2 big games. Castleford taking on St Helens. Leigh against Salford. Both those games kicking off at 8. And the rest of the weekend on Saturday. Another big game. Huddersfield against Wigan. Saturday afternoon, Sky Sports action at 5-3. Followed by Catalan against Leeds from Perpignan. 5 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena. And the weekend rounded off by London against Hull FC. Sky Sports action on Sunday, again just before 3 o'clock. We're just waiting for the teams to come out for the start of the second half, and a welcome break for everybody because it has been very, very good. Hull KR in front, Saints level. Hull KR in front, St Helens just behind at 12-10. Then St Helens back in front with Hurrell's try and that perler from Jack Broadbent 6 minutes before half-time. And that all adds up to a 16-14 14 advantage. Full house, as it has been all season. That away allocation, Saints with nearly 1,000 fans here, but every game is sold out. It's quite a renaissance on and off the field here, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I said it's a team that's progressing, certainly off the field with the work that they're doing, but you can see from the evidence of the first 40 minutes on the field as well. They're playing an attractive brand of rugby. They are very, very easy on the eye. And this is poised to go right down to the wire, I feel. Two very evenly matched teams, if the evidence of the first half is anything to go by. I'm just interested to see when Saints start to step up the pressure. I do feel like they've got another gear. I don't think we've seen the best out of them yet in this game. We've seen the flair and the defensive steel from Hull Kingston Rovers. I just feel there's maybe another gear, another level that Saints can go to. Whether they do or not, or whether they're allowed to or not, is another question.
Well, Saints suffered another blow in the first half because they lost Matt Whitley early on, and he picked up a shoulder injury, and we're going to find out whether he's going to come back on the field or not. But it doesn't look good for Whitley or for Saints, which is why we're seeing Sione Matautia playing wide out on the left and Delaney coming back. Matautia has started as a prop man. You're a man for all seasons. He's played in virtually every position for St Helens. Sione Matautia. So 16-14, Mark Percival gets us underway, and here we go again, hopefully for another special, spectacular 40 minutes. Hadley with the first drive, and you know what you're going to get from Hull KR. They're going to go for it. Some brilliant handling, and we always see some great tries, but what are we going to get from Saints?
Well, Hull KR are going to go for it because you can't defend a 2-point lead, not against St Helens. You really can't. I do think from Saints, like I said, I think there's another gear left in them yet. But for the meantime, for the short term, expect more of the same from them. They'll complete high. Lewis Dodd will kick Hull KR in a corner and challenge him to come out. Early 40-20 attempt, Lytton covered well though. Yeah,
well read by Jack Welsby. Here is T. Ritson looking for the way through. You are just joining us. Ritson, former Barrow player, real flyer. His first game of the season with Tommy Makinson. Had chicken pox. You pick up some things from the kids, don't you? Saints hoping he'll be back for next week. Welsby making good yardage from dummy half inside the Hull KR half of the field. Now Darrell Clark. Clark will look for a gap, and Knowles wasn't too far away. He was trying to stretch out an arm, wasn't he, to feed the ball to Morgan Knowles. Dodd and Lomax now, and Percival looking for a way through, and he nearly was. Important tackle it was from Tyrone May. Dodd, they go the short side. Little kick through. Was it played at? And it's an offside, isn't it? It's an accidental offside from James Batchelor, but in the end he had no choice. He had to pick the ball up.
Yeah, killers out there because you stood over it, and you know you shouldn't, but the alternative is to let Saints regain possession. There's been a couple of cute short sides taken there in that set as well. First by Jack Welsby, back end of the set by Dodd.
Well, Delaney now, St Helens had the first opportunity at the start of this second half. It was a good little grubber, wasn't it, from Lewis Dodd. And there is Dodd, right in front of the post. Is the lead going to change hands once again? Clark and Lomax, Welsby for Hurrell. Hurrell all wrapped up, but still manages to get the ball back for Jack Welsby. Welsby running across that line, still running across that line, and then takes the tackle. Otherwise it would have been obstruction.
Stand free. Wait here. Wait here.
Saints pressing, early stages of the second half. Bell and Delaney. A couple of tackles left in this set for them. Good defence from Hull KR. Knowles. And again, Luckley's in there. Done a lot of work, Sam Luckley, since he came on. Last one for St Helens. It's with Dodd, and it's with Welsby. And Welsby's pass, for once, isn't a good one. It didn't give Blake any opportunity at all. First chance to Saints, wasted.
Yeah, miscued. I think Percival saying that wasn't the pass. There was maybe a shorter option on there. Percival had hit a beautiful line on the inside shoulder of Peta Hiku. And Welsby, I think, had already committed mentally to throwing that ball across the top. You could see that Mark Percival very quick to remind him, look, hey, there's a short ball option there.
Go.
Jesse Sue back on for Hull KR.
Guess where? Wait, no, ball carrier. Go on.
Got a great try on that big night, didn't, against Wigan.
2. Move Morgan! Go.
What a win this would be. They can make it back-to-back wins against St Helens and Wigan. So just to remind you, because it's worth saying, Hull KR win this, the top 6 in Super League all have 14 points. That's astonishing, but that's how good and how close it's been this year. Mikey Lewis eventually brought down by Lomax with a little bit of help from Ritson.
Yeah, it just looks a bit more connected, that defence from St Helens, doesn't it? It's mean. It's not allowed an awful lot, and it's a midfield bomb that Lewis is forced into. This will bounce.
It's a good kick. Where's it going to bounce? Who's going to come up with it? In the end, it's Mark Percival. That's a teasing kick, and nearly paid dividends as well, didn't it?
Yeah, the first 2 sets, though, haven't been great from Hull KR. The ends of sets, the meters have been restricted. This is where St Helens have started their sets in the second half, and that's dangerous. You can't. It's not sustainable, that, really, if you're wanting to restrict the amount of points that a team of the quality of Saints are going to score.
Hurrell eventually gets up and plays the ball. Dodd now is the space on the far side to Mark Percival. Brought down on halfway. Good tackle from Tyrone May. Lost the ball. Saints starting the second half the way they started the first, with errors.
And they're uncharacteristic, aren't they? Percival had banged down off that left foot, had really challenged Peta Hiku's inside shoulder. Tyrone May across with a cover tackle. Hadley involved in there as well. Ball dislodged in that tackle. A pressure release and a much needed one for Hull Kingston Rovers, who've, I think, they felt a change in tempo, a change in intensity from St Helens at the start of the second half.
Broadbent. What a game to make your debut in. At 5 minutes notice, by the way. To say, if you are just joining us, Oliver Gildart pulled out 5 minutes before the kickoff with a knee injury.
That's great defence from St Helens. They've just taken 5 metres back off Kelepi Tanganoa. This is a bit flat-footed now from the Robins. Everybody was forced to backpedal and readjust.
They've always got something in them. Tyrone May looking for a way through.
He got in.
Litton. That may have come off of St Helens' hand. It has, and they go again. They have another full set on that St Helens line. Perhaps a bit of luck that they needed. Luckily, they're stacking up on that right-hand side now. Tyrone May. Ball goes inside for Hiku. Hiku will score. What an offload. Saints flat-footed in defence. And Peta Hiku has scored again. 9 tries in 9 games for Peta Hiku. And Rovers extend their lead.
Oh, what a brilliant try assist as well from Niall Evalds. He goes to 10 for the season. That's top 4. Hull Kingston Rovers, and Peta Hiku, as you said, he's proving to be some try scorer, isn't he? I'll tell you what, the St Helens defence has struggled with Jez Litton, who's decided to start darting out of dummy half. This time, quick early ball, and gets out into the hands of Niall Evalds. He feels that Lewis Dodd has perhaps overcommitted, opened up a little space, but it still took a cute pass. Lovely, soft hands from Niall Evalds back on the inside. But this is in Evalds' peripheral vision. He's seen the pressure out the corner of his eye from Lewis Dodd. He's overchased, and Peta Hiku is into that space that Dodd had left. What a start for the Robins, because they endured a torrid first 5 minutes. They weren't making any meters. Saints were starting sets on their own 30, as opposed to being poked back into those corners.
Well, as we saw in the first half, they only need a chance. They only need an opening. And they're making the most of it. Much to think about for Paul Wellens and the St Helens coaching team. But again, it came from an error, didn't it? Mark Percival losing the ball.
Yeah.
He was getting up to play the ball, and then a bit of luck with the getting a fresh set after the ball touching a Saints hand.
Well, I think you've started to see Jez Litton there now, moving out of dummy half. Any ruck that's won, keep an eye on Jez Litton, because I think he's the catalyst there for an awful lot. They've got brilliant shape and they fall into it so easily. Lewis jams it low and hard, and he adds the extras.
And for the first time in this game, it's a two-score game. Hull KR leading 22-14.
Yeah, and it's nothing less than deserved. As you said, weathered the early storm, and then it's a lovely piece of build-up play. It's not just the ball from 9 levels, but it's also realising that the opportunity was back on the inside. Lewis Dodd had over-chased it, chased hard, and got too close to his centre. Evalds has gone. There's space on the inside. Petr Hiku was on the same wavelength, and Paul Wellens has got plenty to think about. He won't be panicking. Blimey, he knows and trusts these players. But Hull KR at the moment, it doesn't look like they're going to let up, does it? Every opportunity they get, they're going to try and take.
It's amazing, isn't it, in this sport, how you can be so poor one week and then so good. I mean, the game against Catalan, where they were well beaten in Perpignan, Willie Peters, the coach, was embarrassed by their performance. It was that bad. Then they come here and stick it on to Wigan, and at the moment they're sticking it on to St Helens. Coming up for 10 minutes gone in the second half, leading by 22 points to 14. And looking to build on that as well. Mitchella and Lewis, and here is the elusive Tanganoa once more. Brought down by Baxter and Lomax, but here goes Litton. Yeah, good spot by John. It's a clear change of tactic, isn't it? Wow. Baxter on the last has just given away a set restart.
He's almost had to, because he was never in control of that ruck. They were going to get a kick off the front foot to end the set. You know, he's paid a heavy price for it, but you're right, every half bit now, Jez Litton scanning the base of this ruck. He sees a Saints player not set, he's off, he's going.
Well, it's doing the trick, and it's working wonders. And Rovers with another opportunity now to perhaps put points on the board. Tyrone May, inside it goes.
Good read.
Yeah, Evalds it was, and Morgan Knowles with the read to bring him down. Minchella and Lewis. Here is the debutant Broadbent. Does well. Wriggles out of a couple of tackles, Jack Broadbent. Chris Kendall saying, get on with it, that was a dive. Here is Jesse Sue now for KR, looking to turn in the tackle. Last one, quickly comes back to Lewis. Will put up a high kick towards T. Ritson, but Hall will go up for it. Who did the ball come off? Well, it came off Ritson, and it's play on. Broadbent gets it back. Chance again here. Ball for Broadbent, ball for Ritson, and Ritson will score. Wow, they got the luck again, but it doesn't matter. They have been brilliant with ball in hand. They couldn't handle it, Saints. Fast hands, and Jez Litton playing left winger gets another try. 2 tries in 4 minutes, and Hull KR take control.
And they didn't realise Chris Kendall had waved 6 again. They had a full 6 tackles, and neither Tanganoa nor Jack Broadbent had realised that maybe it's best they didn't, because we saw a piece of brilliant hot potato stuff, which culminated in Jez Litton scoring in the corner. There was a 6 again waved here. Batcher is asking why. Well, it's because you didn't win the ruck. Ball goes up, last tackle, tapped back by Ryan Hall. There was a St Helens hand in there. You see the referees waved 6 again. No, I don't think any of these players have seen it after, because if you've got 6 again, you don't try this. But as I said, maybe it's as well they didn't realise. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen the end that we did, which was Broadbent and Tanganoa combining, and then the final pass, which came from Broadbent to Litton. And this will be very, very interesting now. We've got plenty of time left on the clock, but this is I'll say commanding lead. It's a significant lead against the side with the defence of the equality of St Helens.
Well, yeah, just to make that point, they conceded 70 points in 9 games before today. 24 of them came in 1 game against Salford. They've now conceded here 26 points, and we've still got just under half an hour to go. That's how good Hull KR have been.
Well, that was the challenge for Hull KR was coming into this game. We know the attacking capability of St Helens. That's a given, and you're well aware. Everybody's watching of rugby. You're well aware of where those attacking threats lie. The key for them was, could they restrict St Helens to a number that they would feel confident in surpassing in terms of points scored themselves, knowing how good that Saints defence is? Well, I think, look, if full-time was now, the answer's affirmative.
That's a heck of a kick. That's a fantastic kick from Mikey Lewis. And the lead goes to 14, 28 points to 14. A brilliant burst of 2 tries, bang, bang, inside 4 minutes.
Just keeping the ball alive. Jez Litton crosses in the corner. It was a boot from Mikey Lewis that started all this. It's T. Ritson that was adjudged to have had a hand in there. That's why referee called 6 again. Broadbent hadn't seen it. Tanganoa hadn't seen it. Jez Litton didn't care. And the Hull KR fans are now in full voice.
Here is Hall on the charge. Well, the question now, John, is what have Saints got?
Well, I would expect a response. No 2 ways about that. But Hull KR, I think they simply cannot stop playing. We said they couldn't stop playing at 16-14. Well, they haven't. They've been true to the word so far. They can't shut up shop now either, I don't think.
Well, Saints have got to find a way. Get their hand on the ball, and then let's see what they can do to perhaps put pressure on KR. But it's just been an exceptional performance, as it was last weekend against Wigan. Litton played a big part in the second half. Minchella and May and Evans, and they're going again with Hiku with the offload, and at the moment they're just playing freely, oozing with confidence and belief. Ball back to Lewis again. High hanging kick for Jack Walsby. Well, look where Saints are starting this set. And don't forget, they've got to score 3 times.
No, they're more than capable of doing it. It'd be interesting. Jack Welsby running left to right, he's not as effective. That right arm fend that he's got is really strong. So maybe that's a tactic that you'll see a little bit more in the second half. Hull KR going to that northeast corner of the ground and making Welsby work his non-natural way, if you like.
Last one, just inside their own half of the field. What are they going to do with it? It's Lomax this time who puts up the high kick, but Evans will take it, just lets it bounce a couple of times. And here is Ryan Hall, and here is Ryan Hall, still going Ryan Hall, and he was looking for the offload, wasn't he? Burgess, not seen too much of the ball, has he, Joe Burgess, today, but it hasn't mattered. Everyone playing their part in another stellar show from Hull Kingston Rovers. Lewis inside once more for Kalepi Tanganoa, just over halfway. 17 minutes gone in a second half dominated by the home side. Minchella and May. Hiku again looking to offload. This time it doesn't come off. And Saints gratefully grasping onto the ball.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Look, they can't shut up shop, but it's the balance you've got to find, isn't it, between overplaying. It's a blind offload from Pettick around the corner.
Lomax inside for Conrad Hurrell. Well, they need something special at St Helens, that's for sure.
Go early. Go three.
Matty Lee's back on for Morgan Knowles.
4. Move, dude.
As we approach the
Hold here.
hour mark here, you feel, well, without a doubt, St Helens have to score next, and that there's no doubt.
Move. Don't spoil.
Last one, still a way to go. Wellesby and Lomax. Looked like they're going to run it with Bell. Inside pass for the brilliant read. It was Dean Hadley, the old warhorse.
Well, it was a forward pass, but even if it hadn't been, it was well tracked and anticipated by Dean Hadley. Again, effort-based players. Pressure from the inside, move off Lomax, and then
Okay, Tyrone.
make the tackle, snuff out the danger. Matty Lee's back on the field. Curtis Sirinen on the field as well.
Square. Don't go early. Wait, no, predict. Go on.
And Matty Staunton is on.
2.
Shai Whitbread is back on
Hold here.
for Hull KR.
And there is Staunton bumping off a couple.
Two in now. Third. Sione off the
Because of the shape that Hull Kingston Rovers have got in attack, they've got options both sides, splitting Lewis and May. Minchella's the link, he's the link man in between. He can swing left and right. You've got edge defenders from St Helens now, overreading, pushing up in front of one another.
40.
That's Litton with the kick this time. Look where Wellesby are taking it. It's not going to bounce down. Superb kick from Jez Litton. Under real pressure, Jack Wellesby. At the moment, everything Hull KR touch is turning to goal.
Right, significant set this one, if they can, and they're really ramping up as well. Great work from Jez Litton, play one. If they can restrict meters here, they're going to get a golden opportunity, Hull KR. They'll be rewarded with really good position.
At the moment, nowhere for Saints to go down blind alleys. 3 out of the next 5 are away, but Castleford next week. And they've got back-to-back home games against Leeds and Catalan before trips in June to London and to Salford. But at the moment, they are heading for a 3rd defeat of the season. Comprehensive at that. But you never write them off. Hour gone, 20 minutes for them to produce something from somewhere.
2. Move. 10 meters. Hold. Go 2.
But this has been a, well, at least a 9 out of 10 performance from Hull KR all round the field.
6 never go above. Wait, go 3.
Litton,
3. 4.
Dalton once more.
Oh, no! Darryl Clark, Darryl! Play on.
Oh.
Again from dummy half. He's doing so much damage. He's lost the ball, always trying to offload it, but what a second half Jez Litton's had.
Yeah. He's not the biggest, is he? But he's game, and he's electric off the mark. You see, again, anything that's not set, not quite set, he's Darryl Clark in Darryl Clark. It's just the end of it. He's not quite got right. Ball's come out. But you've got 2 hookers on the field here who are absolutely devastating over the first 5 metres. Jez Litton, Darryl Clark.
Let's go, 10 seconds, back down. Wait, I'll tell you when, Johnny, heads in. Head in.
Well, for the last 2 weeks, the Willie Peters master plan has worked to perfection. T. Ritson,
Move! 10 meters, go,
Hull Kingston Rovers, well, big period. They lost at Catalan, they've beaten Wigan, they're beating St Helens. They've got Warrington away to come, then that Challenge Cup semi-final, and then games with London, Leigh and Huddersfield before the middle of June.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're really looking like the real deal at the moment. If they emerge the right side of that semi-final, I think there's going to be odds shortening right across the country for Hull KR and silverware this season.
Batchelor nearly through. What a tackle, and who was it? It was Mikey Lewis. Wellesby now for Bell, but Mikey Lewis might just have saved a try with that tackle on Batchelor. Wellesby kicked through, comes off the post, but I think he's managed to get out.
Evans has done
Evans
brilliant.
has got out from behind his own line when he had no right to.
He's done brilliant. I think Wellesby's actually aimed for the sticks there because there was too much on the kick for it to be so straight. That's the brilliant tackle down low from Mikey Lewis, and it had to be made. You're right, that would have been a try for all money. And then that's deliberate, and that's really well marshalled by Niall Evalds at the back.
Go for. He was square, they were both square. Boom. Go.
18 minutes to go. Last one as
40.
Litton again clears his lines. That's out on the full. So is this the chance that Saints wanted?
And he's
Going to
furious.
get a full set close to that line.
Yeah, he's furious with himself, is
Mark,
Jez Litton,
boys, it's a turnover.
because he knows what that means.
Get inside.
This could be a huge moment in the game.
On me, Jez.
They've got a very, very important set of defence to get through here, and a huge opportunity for St Helens.
Well, I said they've got to score next. They've got to score soon. 28-14. Hull KR led 16-14 at half-time. Lomax and Matautia, strong defence again. Hiku and luckily. Here is Sirodin. But at the moment, there's no way through. The halt signs are up from Hull KR. Lomax and Welsby now with an opportunity. Hurrell with an opportunity, and Hurrell will score. Well, I said they had to score next. They have. And Saints are back in business as Conrad Hurrell gets his second try. They've still got a long, long way to go. But they're back in this game.
Yeah, and it was a late movement, just pre-play from Johnny Lomax. He hid himself behind the ruck and he moved out. It all stemmed from this miscued kick downfield from Jez Litton. But Lomax moves late, creates the extra man, and then it spooks that left edge defence from Mikey Lewis and Kalepi Tanganoa. Opens up the channel for Conrad Hurrell to run into. Look, I can't undersell how important that contribution was from Johnny Lomax. He's a master at it. Sits in behind the ruck, assesses what's going on, and moves late. And that late movement cannot be accounted for by the defenders that are there. That's why Mikey Lewis shoots in. That's why the channel's opened up for Conrad Hurrell.
Another difficult kick for Mark Percival. You feel he needs to nail it. Has he managed to swing it round? He has. Fantastic kick from Percival off the touchline. And it's game on again. 28 points to 20. But Saints with 15 minutes to go. And who knows?
Yeah, it's the ball. Lomax, quick hands. It needed to be, because he knew the pressure was going to come. When he moved late around the back of that ruck, he knew he was going to be noticed late and reacted to. Felt the heat, got rid of the ball. And then Hurrell has reduced the arrears to just 8 points.
Still got to score twice. More than capable as Lomax hands it off for Matty Lees. What a game.
What a contact. What a contact between Matty Lees, Luckley and Whitbread.
Saints fans finding their voices here. Sirodin tries to play the ball quickly. Clark and Mbai, both hookers on now. Mbai will be used as a pivot player in the middle to try and create something for St Helens. Here is Lomax and Hurrell. Ball goes back to T. Ritson. Does well to pick it up. Last one though, only just inside the Hull KR half. 14 minutes to go. Rovers leading 28-20. And Dodd, not the best of kicks.
It wasn't, because it was brilliant kick pressure from Hadley and Jai Whitbread.
And here's Burgess.
We're well over an hour into this game. Big minutes from Hadley. Whitbread's had a breather, but those last tackle efforts, those little 1%ers that coaches always talk about, applied the pressure to Dodd. It meant the kick wasn't the quality he wanted.
Indeed, Hadley's just a workhorse,
Isn't he?
4 years at Hull. This is his 6th year at Hull KR, crossing the city. He is one of those unsung heroes. And Mikey Lewis has been a hero on more than one occasion for Hull KR. Litton and Hadley. Tanganoa, there's that little offload inside again from Evalds to Petter Hiku, which has already led to a try in the second half. Last play coming up. Tyrone May this time. Arrows it towards the corner. It's taken by Blake. But Saints pinned back inside their own 10.
There's a crucial change as well made by Hull KR. Some fresh legs brought on, making the tackle there. Matt Parcell. We talked about Jez Litton being electric out of dummy half. So is this guy. So they're not going to sit back on anything. They're not trying to protect an 8-point lead. They're going to keep playing positively.
The Saints have got to do the same.
That's a great shot as well, and it had to be from Jack Broadbent because the shift was on.
Wellesby. And Batchelor. Is it going to be the first time that LKR James Batchelor has won a game against his brother Joe? At the moment, the answer's yes. But Saints still have 12 minutes to do something about it. Percival gets away from one. Mark Percival still going. Last one though, Saints still pinned back. They're midway inside their own half of the field. Moses Mbai with the kick, but not much on that. And Ryan Hall with really good field position. They will start their set only just inside their own half, leading by 8.
Yeah, good defensive set, backed up by good kick pressure on the last tackle.
What have we still got in store in the last 11.5 minutes? Another try for Rovers, and that surely would be it. Matt Parcell, as you say, the fresh legs, but at the same tactic, running from dummy half, exposing those tired St Helens legs. Last one, and Lewis again will clip that towards T. Ritson. But he does really well, Ritson, to take that. But again, St Helens, a pin back.
Yeah, you really... And a trouble by Conrad Hull as well. You know, it's where every team wants to put the opposition at the end of a set. That little 10-by-10 box in the corner of the field. You can then dictate through your line speed and closing up the distance between your defenders, just as Hull KR are doing now. Midway through the set, still in their own 20, St Helens.
Yeah. Hull KR have just been very good. Saints haven't been too bad, but too many errors.
There you go.
And there's another one that's picked up by Parcell. It was Jack Wellesby who dropped the ball. And here is Lewis now. Too many mistakes from St Helens, and it could cost them here. Ball goes across to Hiku. Hiku looking for a way through. Rovers have the ball, and they have it just where they want it. 10 minutes to go, leading 28-20. And a chance to put more points on the board.
Morgan!
Whitbread now, patiently building. Here is Matt Parcell. Parcell for Lewis. Lewis looking for a runner. Lewis gets the runner. And it's Dean Hadley, who's been absolutely sensational today. And he gets the try that he deserves. And he gets the try which will win it, surely, for Hull KR. The outstanding Lewis with the offload, and the outstanding Hadley with the try.
And it's nothing less than he deserves. Dean Hadley, amongst a number of forwards who've been outstanding this afternoon. If there were any doubts, and I don't think there were many, that Hull Kingston Rovers were going to really challenge this season, I think that last passage of play has extinguished those. That was sublime. They had elements of everything, and again, all stemmed from uncharacteristic errors from the visiting side. Parcell out of dummy half, changing direction, but it's willing runners. It's people who are willing to do the very often unrewarding efforts off the ball, and Hadley gets his rewards, and Hull KR get their reward for a really tidy performance. Low in terms of errors, low in terms of penalty conceded, low in terms of points conceded, certainly in this second half.
Well, John Wells, in the next 4 or 5 minutes, will be choosing his Betfred player of the match. I would imagine that both Mikey Lewis, who made the try and is about to kick the goal, and Dean Hadley, who scored the try, will be in the mix. Let me ask you a question. Is this been Hull KR been very, very good, or is this St Helens being poor?
Well, I think, no, I'm not going to take any credit away from Hull KR. They're on a mission. You can see it. You saw it last week. You've seen signs of it all year. I don't think the finished article yet. And I don't think Saints have been at their best, but I don't think that's self-inflicted for the most part. They haven't been allowed to be. They've been pressured. The defensive sets from the Robins have been really, really tidy and consistent. And Mikey Lewis with the chance to open up a 14-point lead.
And there it is, another successful kick for Mikey Lewis. Mighty Lewis, well, he has been mighty today, hasn't he?
No, look, he's a classy player, isn't he? But Dean Hadley is the epitome of effort and work and commitment. And there've been a number, you're right, in talking about player of the match, Niall Evalds is on the short list, Mikey Lewis is on the short list, Kalepi Tangano is on the short list. But so should guys like Dean Hadley be, because without them, those guys can't function.
Hadley's been heroic, absolutely brilliant for KR today. St Helens conceded 70 points in 9 games. They conceded 34 today. 6 tries scored by Hull KR.
I mean, Hull KR,
they've all been terrific.
If this score holds up and Hull KR are going to win, they've gone back-to-back weeks and beaten the champions and the dethroned champions from the season before.
And all that off the back of a dreadful display in France. What a response. Last tackle. Well, they can relax. Even that famous phrase of never write off the Saints, but they ain't going to come back from this in 7 minutes.
And haven't this crowd, over 10,000 here today, haven't they been treated to a brilliant display of rugby league?
Well, they're turning people away.
Yeah, 10,500, I mean.
That's a sellout. Plans are afoot to extend the main stand, also the cop that we see opposite us here from the gantry, plans to extend that as well. They could get a lot more people in if they could. All part of the master plan, on and off the field. Lewis Dodd forced to take the tackle.
That feel for Percival, it's a few times he's done that now, and the timing just hasn't been right. You can see the frustration building. He's offered up that brilliant lead line, you know what he's capable of. And neither Wellesby earlier in the game or Dodd could find him.
Already on the last, big force to run it. Percival, what came off Ryan Hall, I think.
Nah.
Or did it go straight into touch?
Yes,
it may well have gone straight into touch.
It's just a poor pass from Conrad Hurrell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I guess the body language of Hurrell and the error from Hurrell, it just kind of sums up the day for St Helens. A third defeat of the season for St Helens, beaten at home by Salford, beaten in the south of France by Catalan, and beaten in East Hull by a resurgent Hull KR. Okay, 5 minutes to go. It's player of the match time.
You want me to pick it now? Oh, wow. Right, OK, shortlist. Niall Evalds, Petter Hiku, Jai Whitbread, Dean Hadley. But my Betfred player of the match this week is going to go to a forward very often doesn't get the plaudits he should. And it is Jai Whitbread. I think he's been enormous from the charge down as early as the 8th minute, which led to Tyrone May's opening try, to the work he's been doing in terms of kick pressure and everything in between. I think for me a worthy player of the match, and represents a whole heap of effort out there on the field today by an awful lot of those Hull KR players.
So Jai Whitbread is the player of the match. The ball goes backwards. In the end, it was Wellesby who came back to collect him. I think that should be a tap 20 for St Helens with 4 minutes to go. So Jai Whitbread, there he is, the Betfred player of the match. Must have been run pretty close. I'd have gone for Dean Hadley, but
yeah,
either or, you could have given them to either.
I could have picked half a dozen out of that, but I just saw the the tempo he set at the start and the statement he made right at the start of the game that you weren't going to have it easy, St Helens, at any minute, at any point, in any second of this game. And the rest have followed that lead.
A worthy winner. And Hull KR will be worthy winners. With less than 4 minutes to go, leading 34 points to 20. And sometimes as a losing team, you've just got to hold your hands up and say the opposition was too good.
Yeah, I'm sure Paul Wellens will in the final analysis. He'll be dirty on his own team. He'll pick up things we haven't seen. But I think certainly, credit it needs to be given where it's due. 1-on-1 steal, knock on in the process, I feel.
Yeah.
Where do you want the scrum?
Percival was looking to offload.
It's on the cut of the grass. Scrum, St Helens ball.
But the clock is ticking down towards another big Hull KR win. What an incredible sight the Super League table will be at the end of this game. The top 6 all locked together on 14 points.
And Hull KR go into 4th, we think, based on the current scoreline.
And Wigan will be back on top. Saints were only topped by 1 solitary point, weren't they? All will be confirmed after the game. Morgan Knowles, is there any consolation for St Helens?
Move!
2.5 minutes left on the clock. Wellesby, short pass out for Sione Matautia.
They've just been on it. Hull KR, they've been on it there. That defensive read was brilliant. They were on the marks.
But Percival had overrun his captain. Lomax had to hang on to the ball. Is there going to be a... Oh, it's intercepted. It's by Hadley. Dean Hadley. There's your player of the match, John. Well, he's been terrific, hasn't he? Well, that would have brought the house down. It did anyway. Yeah, Hadley and Jai Whitbread between them have just been... Look at this.
I mean, what a piece of anticipatory play. You go and get the left arm out. Get the left arm out on Dodd and go for it. Here they are, though, Broad Bennett, and what a debut he's had in a Robins shirt.
Yeah.
One never to be forgotten.
If you are joining us late, he only found out 5 minutes before kickoff he was playing. It's another set restart. Hull KR now looking to finish in some style. Can they get to 40 points against St Helens? They're going to give it a go with Mikey Lewis. Just over a minute to go. Hadley and Staunton now fed by Tyrone May. Here is May again. Hadley with the dummy, still offloads. It's the space here. Lewis for Hall. Hall will score. And Ryan Hall gets another one. And Ryan Hall is now ever closer to that record. His 246th Super League try. And he trails Danny Maguire now by just 1. He's 1 away from equaling the record. He's 2 away from beating it. Hull KR have a 7th try in the last minute, and they have given it to St Helens. And how?
Haven't they just? And it all started with that intercept from Dean Hadley, didn't it? Just playing with confidence. You saw Hadley in the build-up to this one, taking a ball, and then throwing one that was picked up on the half volley by Mikey Lewis, who throws a 20-metre cut-out pass. And Ryan Hall just nudges T. Ritson out of the way and dots down to, as you say, move on to try 2-4-6 and just one away from the magic 2-4-7 held by Danny Maguire. And what a fitting way to end what has been a memorable afternoon for Hull Kingston Rovers, for the fans, the organisation, the boardroom, everybody involved in this club. And it's an appreciative crowd, isn't it, as well, that have seen and witnessed a brilliant performance.
I think you also give a mention to the owner, Neil Hutchell, who for years and years and years has put a lot of money into this club to keep it going.
He went through thin and thin for a long time, didn't he? Yeah.
He was putting in, from what I believe, at least £1 million a year for a long, long time to keep this club afloat. And he'll have a smile on his face tonight. one of the good guys. And he is reaping the rewards. His team and his club are looking good, and it's a fantastic finale. They finish with a flourish as Lewis bangs it in from the touchline. And Hull KR hammer St Helens by 40 points to 20.
What a result. What a wonderful result for an awful lot of hard work on and off the field. Now look, St Helens have been at the very, very top. We started this broadcast with a snapshot showing St Helens 14 grand final appearances. Well, the sands are shifting a little bit in Super League, and Hull KR are one of those teams clearly on a journey, and by the looks of today, on a real mission in 2024.
They led 16-14 at half-time, and they then ran away with it in the second half. All the analysis to come. Hull KR with a cracker, 40 points to 20. What a performance from Hull Kingston Rovers. What a victory. And what a difference a couple of weeks makes. Dreadful in losing to Catalan, but quite brilliant in the last 2 weeks, beating Wigan and then putting St Helens to the sword. 7 tries. They led 16-14 at half-time. They just ran away with it. Some sparkling rugby in the second half. 40 points to 20. Our Betfred player of the match is Hull KR's Australian prop, Jai Whitbread. Many congratulations. That was just a fabulous performance.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was a good team performance. Definitely what we wanted to display, and Saints are always a tough outfit, so it was good to get the win.
You were up and at him right from the start, weren't you? I mean, John Wells alongside me was sort of epitomised by your charge down, and then it sort of gathered momentum after that.
Yeah, I think that's something we speak about a lot, is starting fast. The times where we've been sort of burnt was when we haven't started fast, so we've made a big emphasis on doing that, and I think we did that tonight.
Jai, it's John here. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the individual award. Not lost on you, I'm sure, just the direction this club is travelling in, and how does that impact you on the field as well?
Yeah, mate, it's massive. We've got a big support behind us on and off the field. I think it just makes my job easier, if anything. I got some very talented players around me, and it just they lift me up. So yeah, I don't have to do too much. Just focus on my job.
Jai, I think it's fair to say now that you've proved over the last 2 weeks that Hull KR are real contenders for the Super League title.
Yeah, mate. Well, yeah, you're only as good as your last game. So we're just taking it week by week, trying to find ways to improve and get better.
Well done today, man of the match, terrific performance. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Jai Whitbread is the player of the match, and this was a fantastic second half from Hull KR, John Wells.
Yeah, wasn't it just? And the Robins first to score through Petter Hiku on 47 minutes. Take a look at that for a ball from Nia Levels. That took it out to 22 points to 14. We expected a Saints response, but that wasn't before another try for the home team, and Jez Litton this eventually fell to after a mad scramble for 5 or 10 seconds following the referee waving 6 again. None of the players who touched the ball in between times had any idea. And Jez Litton didn't need asking twice. Jez Litton actually played the ball. So to move it to finish that sequence out on the wing where he dives over in the corner, again, he's just probably representative of just how much effort these guys are prepared to make at any point, at any time in a game. And he got his just desserts. Saints did have a response of sorts, and that came off the back of an uncharacteristic error from Hull Kingston Rovers. It's an area I think they've been really tidy in, and then just the smarts from Johnny Lomax opened up a channel for Conrad Hurrell to work into and reduce the arrears to 8 points. But that was as close as they got in a second 40 minutes, which finished with Dean Hadley's try on 70 minutes and Ryan Hall right on the buzzer. This Dean Hadley, again from an error from Saints, and just a subtle change in direction. Mikey Lewis, and then just it's about players being willing to do those unrewarded uncompromising efforts, very often getting knocked off the ball, 99 times out of 100 for nothing. And Dean Hadley, understandably, really, really happy with his contribution today. I think you, Stuart, were really, really happy with that particular contribution, which set up position for the final try of the game, and that fittingly landed in the hands of Ryan Hall. You take a look at the build-up, and that's a beautiful pass, wasn't it, from Mikey Lewis. And Ryan Hall is now just one try away from that long-standing record held by Danny Maguire. And look, we're sure he's going to surpass that in the coming weeks if Hull KR carry on playing like this.
Yeah, tried 2-4-6 in Super League. Danny Maguire with 2-4-7. So these are the results so far, confirming Wigan's win against Catalan on Thursday. Salford edging out Huddersfield. Big wins for Leeds and Warrington. One of the performances of the season, certainly for me, from Hull KR to beat St Helens. And still to come shortly on Sky Sports Action, it's Leigh against Castleford. And this is the remarkable looking league table. Wigan are back on top on points difference, and St Helens now dropped to third after their hammering today. But look at that, Hull KR up to fourth, the top six all locked together on 14 points. Astonishing. I don't think we've ever seen that before. Well, it's the big weekend, isn't it, on Sky Sports, and still plenty of big football action to come. About to kick off at the City of Manchester Stadium, the Etihad. Manchester City against Wolves, having to respond after Arsenal's win earlier. Super Sunday sees Brighton taking on Aston Villa. Liverpool against Tottenham. All the games on Sky Sports Premier League. And then F1 from Miami qualifying tonight on Sky Sports F1. Then the big race Sunday, 7:30 on Sky Sports Formula One. And next week, all games live on Sky. Thursday, Warrington Hull KR. It's Cass Saints and Leigh Salford on Friday. And then Saturday, Huddersfield Wigan, Catalan Leeds. It's London Hull on Sunday. Goodbye from us.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.